The first lie never sounds like one. It slides through the cracks of routine, soft, believable, harmless. I'll be late tonight, love. Big project due. That's what Emma said that Thursday evening, pressing a kiss on my cheek as she grabbed her laptop bag. Her perfume lingered in the air long after she left, a familiar scent that used to feel like home. But that night it didn't. Something inside me, something I didn't want to listen to, twisted uncomfortably as the clock hit 9:47 p.m. She hadn't texted. She always texted. Even on her busiest nights there'd be a quick, "Still working, don't wait up." But that night my phone was silent. I tried to brush it off. Maybe she was buried in spreadsheets, maybe her phone had died. I poured myself another coffee, trying to focus on the muted hum of the TV. But then my eye caught something. A small glowing icon on the kitchen counter. Her tablet. Emma never left it behind. I told myself not to snoop. That trust was the foundation of our marriage. But as the minutes ticked into hours and her late night stretched into midnight, my resolve cracked. I picked up the tablet. It unlocked automatically. She'd never thought to put a password. Her messages were mundane. Work group chats. Family threads. A few Pinterest boards full of wedding gowns. Ironic, considering we'd been married 8 years. And then I saw it. A small gray app tucked between her notes and calendar. Find My Ride. The GPS tracker she'd installed to keep tabs on her company car. My stomach knotted. My finger hovered. I told myself it was just curiosity. I told myself I'd open it, see her car near the office and laugh at my own paranoia. But when the map loaded, the little blue dot wasn't near her office. It was blinking from a quiet residential street, 25 minutes away. Not a business district. Not near her coworkers' homes. A neighborhood I didn't recognize. My pulse thundered in my ears. I stared at the screen, refreshing again and again, hoping the map would correct itself. That maybe the GPS was wrong. But it wasn't. The blue dot stayed still. I checked again. Then again. And then, against my better judgment, I grabbed my keys. It's strange how betrayal feels physical. Like something sharp lodged in your chest. Every red light felt like a punishment. Every street lamp like a spotlight on my foolish hope. Her car, a silver Civic with a tiny scratch on the left bumper, was parked exactly where the GPS said it would be. Outside a cozy brick townhouse with soft yellow light spilling from the windows. I parked a few houses down. My hands were trembling. For a long moment I couldn't move. I just sat there staring, trying to convince myself there was an innocent explanation. Maybe it was a client's house. Maybe she'd carpooled. Maybe. Then the front door opened. And there she was. Emma. Her hair loose, her blazer gone, wearing the cream sweater I bought her last Christmas. She was laughing. A man followed her out, tall, confident, with his hand on her back. The kind of casual, intimate touch that screamed familiarity. I felt the world tilt. They lingered by the door, talking softly. Then he leaned in and kissed her, slow, unhurried, like they'd done it 100 times before. I couldn't breathe. I gripped the steering wheel so hard my knuckles went white. My mind tried to protect me, whispering this can't be real, this can't be her, but my eyes didn't lie. That was my wife. My Emma. I didn't confront her that night. I wish I could say I stormed up there, demanded answers, shouted my pain into the night. But I didn't. I drove home instead, numb, hollow, a man-shaped shadow of himself. She came home an hour later, smelling faintly of mint gum and some cologne that wasn't mine. "Hey," she said, setting down her bag like nothing had happened. "Sorry I'm late." The presentation ran over. I stared at her, really stared. The way her eyes flickered when she lied. The practiced smile. "Oh," I said softly. "Long night, huh?" "Yeah," she exhaled, loosening her hair. "You know how it is." I nodded. "Yeah, I guess I do." And she smiled, kissed me goodnight, and went upstairs. I stood there for a long time, listening to her footsteps fade down the hall, feeling something inside me splinter for good. The next few days were torture. Every morning she left with that same excuse. Big project. Client dinner. Late review. And every night, her car's GPS told a different story. Different addresses. Different times. The same man's townhouse. I started noticing things I'd ignored before. The extra care she put into her makeup, the sudden gym sessions, the new lingerie receipt I found in the laundry. Love makes you blind. But betrayal? Betrayal gives you perfect vision. A week later, I decided I needed proof, something undeniable. So I followed her. I waited until she texted me around 6 p.m., saying she'd be stuck at the office. Then I drove to her workplace and parked across the street. At 6:17 she came out. Not toward the office but toward her car, phone pressed to her ear, smiling. She didn't notice me. I followed at a distance. Her taillights cut through the dusk, leading me straight to that same townhouse. I parked again, hands shaking. I wanted to scream, to cry, to tear something apart. But instead I just watched. She knocked once. The door opened. He pulled her in. And then the light went out. That was the moment I stopped being her husband. I didn't confront her right away. I needed a plan, not revenge but closure. The next night, she came home late again, humming under her breath. She poured herself wine, scrolling through her phone. "You seem happy," I said quietly from the couch. She looked up, startled. "What?" Just tired, I guess." "Work's keeping you busy, huh?" "Yeah," she said, smiling faintly. "You know how it is." I nodded. "I do. By the way, how's the office on Maple Street treating you?" The color drained from her face. What do you mean?" I leaned forward, my voice calm, almost gentle. "That's where your car's been parked. Every night this week." She froze. Her lips parted but no sound came out. I set my phone on the table, the GPS app still open, her car's location pulsing on the screen. For a moment there was silence, the kind that feels heavy enough to crush you. Then she whispered, "You tracked me." I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. "You lied to me." Tears filled her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were guilt or self-pity. "Michael, Don't," I said, standing. "Don't you dare." The words came out sharper than I intended. "You could have told me you weren't happy. You could have said you wanted out. But instead you chose him." Her voice cracked. "It wasn't like that." "It's exactly like that," I cut in. "You were working late, all right? Just not at your job." That night, she slept in the guest room. I didn't hear her cry. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't care enough to. By morning she was gone. A short note on the counter. "I'm sorry. You didn't deserve this. I'll come by for my things later." No explanation. No fight. Just a hollow apology and silence. It's been 6 months now. People say time heals everything, but it's not true. Time doesn't heal. It just dulls the edges of pain until you can hold it without bleeding. I still see her sometimes, not in person but in the ghost of what we were. In the empty side of the bed. In the way I still check my phone out of habit at 9 p.m. expecting a text that never comes. But I've learned something. Trust isn't about believing someone won't lie. It's about knowing what to do when they do. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't to forgive. It's to finally stop waiting for an apology that will never mean enough. Because love can survive many things: distance, time, struggle. But not betrayal. Never betrayal.